working for you. A weekly talk radio program which highlights developments of national interest and the activities of your St. Kitts Nevis government. Join host Roy Williams as he presents news, views, reports, and interviews about everything regarding the activities of the Team Unity government and the building of our communities and the development of St. Kitts Nevis. Tune in and call in to interact with your government and share your views regarding the upward forward development of your community and our beautiful Twin Island Federation. Working for You is weekly, every Wednesday live from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on ZIZ Radio, Win FM, and Sugar City FM with rebroadcast on participating stations. Working for You.
Good afternoon and a warm welcome to another edition of Working for You, the weekly radio program that allows the people of St. Kitts and Nevis to interact with their government. The Team Unity government is for the people and by the people. I am your host for this afternoon, Jamiela McPhail. Your usual host is away on assignment. This afternoon, our guest is no stranger to our Working for You audience, as he was here just a few weeks ago. Mr. Melvin James is the director of the Department of Agriculture. Welcome back, Mr. James.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Jamiela, for your very warm and cordial welcome. I'm glad that I'm able to come back to the studio so that I can interact with the farming community and all those listening and viewing. I think there is much to share, and so I'm really happy and excited to be here.
We are happy to have you here as well. Now, agriculture is something that is important to every country. The last time you were here, you were speaking about the Agricultural Open Day. Can you give us a recap as to how that went?
Yes, just recently, towards the end of last month, we had the Agricultural Open Day. It was 2 days, and I think it was very exciting. I believe that from the feedback that we've been receiving, that overall it is very positive. It was held on the Thursday and Friday. There was lots of excitement. There was a whole range. There was some 50 or so different displays, ranging from crop produce, livestock entities. We had emerging technology, like we were looking at drones, if you want to put it that way, unmanned aircraft, and how we can use them in agriculture, in surveillance, in pest management. We had things to deal with like renewable energy, solar energy, wind energy, and we had stuff for the children, fun, games. There were things that adults could look at. There was the health element caught a lot of attention. For example, one we're looking at the amount of calories in drinks. Drink is something that we, you take for granted. We buy up all these lot of different drinks, and then I think it was alarming. It's amazing the amount of calories that one intakes because of these drinks. Overall, it was marvelous. For me personally, I was really taken in by the floral displays, the Floral Society. They had they came on site. They did their floral arrangement. It was marvelous. I really love especially what the high schools did. We had most of the high schools giving their concept of what a renewable and recyclable system ought to be like. And therefore, the children, the toddlers, the older ones, I think the whole gamut. There was something for everyone. And all in all, I think it was another successful and exciting year, and we are already beginning to plan and see how we could even improve on that going forward for next year.
Okay, fantastic. Now, the Department of Agriculture is on a trust to have each farmer registered, and that is what we're going to speak about this afternoon, the Farmers Registry. So first of all, can you tell us what a farmer registry is?
Basically, what we in the Department of Agriculture, what we're trying to do is to build, we can say, a database or an inventory of all of the persons involved in farming. That is the fundamental of what we intend to do. That is in St. Kitts, throughout the length and breadth, wherever you are, whatever type of farming enterprise that you're engaged in. We are seeking to be able to have all of that captured in one system. Of course, there are different ways that can be done, but we have devised a particular methodology which I would like to share with the viewing and listening public so that we could all be on the same page, we understand what it's all about, and that we could get a higher level of compliance as possible.
Okay, so let's start there. Let's discuss why you are on this trust at this time. Why is it important for farmers to be registered?
I believe, and it's a general view, that first of all, if you have an industry, you have to have baseline information. You have to know the size of the industry. You have to know who is involved, what they're doing, in order for you to be able to really plan more efficiently. We have been doing a whole range of planning over and over. We seek to engage our stakeholders at different levels. But you always have to update. Sometimes you have to renew. I would want to say to you that it's not the first time that we're doing something like this, but it's been a while, and therefore we think it's timely that we really sort of sit down, put things together, do it all over again so that we're current, so that when you speak to something, you know exactly what you're talking about. You can know the distribution, who is doing what, where. Sometimes you might want to be able to classify in terms of demographics. Sometimes you might want to look at age categories. Sometimes you might want to look at different types of enterprises. It is useful to have all of that information to hand. You don't want that every time you need it, you have to go out to the field, you have to go out to the farmers. This is pertinent information which one must have, and it's timely, and so we're going to be embarking on that in the coming weeks.
You mentioned that there are different kinds of farmers. Can you tell me who you are targeting with this process?
Yes, I'll be happy to. In the St. Kitts context, we still use the very broad classification of crop farmers or livestock farmers. It's still very useful in our situation. I mean, in some other places, as you advance, there are other things. There's people combine fish farming and the traditional farming. Mm-hmm. But here for us, agriculture is still largely crop-based, livestock-based. Okay. So what we're doing here is really to reach the entire farming community, which is, I'm sure, 500 or so persons and growing. Mm-hmm. And in fact, when we do this exercise, then we'll get a full appreciation of the exact numbers. But based on our information to date, our rough information, we know that it's in that region. The crop farmers basically spread island wide. Mm-hmm. In the what we call like the farming belt, which is generally speaking just below the steeper slopes. The livestock farmers, we have certain designated areas: Connery, Bellevue, Tabernacle. They're pockets where we have them concentrated. So overall, they form the basis of the persons we are targeting. But there are others who may have an interest, who may be considering, and so they too will know the kind of criteria that we're looking at. They too will have an idea of the individuals and enterprises of interest, and hopefully they too will understand what we're doing.